What's going on, y'all? So I never thought in a million years that we would be able to link three stories with just one picture. Now, these three stories that I'm talking about are going to include the Mark Hotel with Drake, aka Mr. Richard Fitzenwell. The second story will include Takeoff and the Jay Prince situation. And then the third story will also lead into the Diddy situation with the Little Rod incident. These clues were given to us by Ebony Prince. Ebony Prince has been the person exposing Drake's dirty laundry, has been able to obtain items from Drake, and basically is alluding to the fact that he has a lot of dirt on Drake that he posts via also being responsible for the items for the Meet the Grams art for the diss track for Drake by Ken. It turns out that this picture that we went over yesterday leads to a lot of things that we thought we would ever know. This one picture opened up a rabbit hole that I didn't think we'll expect to. So last night on live, we went and looked up all the information. We know that Drake is Richard Fitzenwell, as stated by the last documents that Ebony Prince had shared. We know that 1601 could be possibly a room that Drake was staying in, if this is a room. This is the date and time an item is found, and this is what I believe says purge date, was the date that you get rid of an item, and there's a 30-day period in between. Now, there's speculation that you could keep an item that's lost longer than a 30-day period, but what it looks like 30 days is a purge date where you could just discard the item and throw it away. So last night on live, we went and looked up to see if Drake was really there on November 9th or around the time in November in 2022. But first, the key reason why we wanted to find out where Drake was staying around this time of 2022 was because a while back in May, Ebony Prince, same account, had shared this incident report at the Mark Hotel where it says underage guest drinker. Well, I'm assuming it's saying drinker, underage guest drinker, and it says the year 2022. Now, the date is blocked off, the subject is blocked off, and the room number is blocked. But if that room number and if that date matches the dates on this paperwork right here, then we might be in it for a bigger surprise than we ever thought, bro. So that's why we try to see and try to find out when exactly Drake was there, because we wanted to find out if he is there. Let's try to see if we could put him in a certain place where he wouldn't be involved in that, or maybe he would be. Now, as you can see here, Drake had a partnership with Sirius XM to perform at the Apollo on November the 11th. This was back in 2022. Drake, being Richard Fitzenwell, shows up at the Mark Hotel on November 9th, 2022. As you can see, people tried to, edit this image to see the paperwork in the background. One of the things that people had stated was that in this document for the underage drinker, underage guest, it says here 12 right here. Can't make up the day exactly, but if this is a 12, going by the paperwork where you can see with the clothing with Richard Fitzenwell, this has to be an 11. So if this is 12, then this is 11. Going based off of how the purge date is and how the date and time of the item is found is a month apart. So people were speculating that that's what this date and time is right here. So let's go back to November of 2022. Because now that we know that Drake showed up at the Mark Hotel, at least around November 9th of 2022, Billboard had made an article talking about how Drake was supposed to perform at the Apollo in the end of the year around 2022 in November. You see what ended up happening, and I'll read it here. The concert was postponed. It says here, after two postponements last fall, the Toronto superstar finally graced the stage at the legendary Harlem venue on Saturday night for the first two shows there is this weekend. In partnership with Sirius XM and his radio show Sound 42, the concert was originally meant to take place on Friday, November 11th, but was moved early December to mourn the death of Takeoff, who ultimately passed occurred a little over a week prior. The show was then delayed again due to production issues. So Takeoff had passed around the same time. And that's why they're saying that they had to postpone the Apollo concert. But they didn't postpone it once, they postponed it twice. See, they tried to push it back, and then they tried to push it back again in December. And this is where the Takeoff story and the Diddy story get connected with this story. So Drake postponed his tour to mourn the passing of Takeoff. Ultimately, he never performed in 2022 at the Apollo. He ended up doing it later in January 21st. And that's when the situation with Christopher Alvarez happened. So that concert that's in question with Christopher Alvarez was the same concert that he postponed during the incident with Takeoff. But what's interesting about that is that we all know the story about Jay Prince and the situation with Takeoff and the theories that people had. As you can see here, it says tempers flared earlier this week when Offset and Jay Prince feud spilled over to social media. On the other hand, Jay Prince has attempted to debunk rumors and clear his family's name surrounding the deadly shooting, which took place in his hometown of Houston during the early hours of November 1st. Outside of a local bowling alley, the Rap-A-Lot Records founder has publicly addressed Takeoff's death on multiple occasions in different interviews, which angered Offset, who has remained publicly tight-lipped regarding the circumstances surrounding the incident. Tensions were raised to another level this week when Jay Prince and the Mob Ties family appeared on an episode of $1 Million Worth of Game earlier in February, where the Houston native dissed Set for allegedly not being there for his late groupmate. While Jay Prince maintains there was previously love on both sides from interactions throughout his career with the Migos, the fuse was lit, and that love went to the wayside as the war of words started to intensify, becoming a trending topic on social media, as Offset promised in his most recent warning shot at Prince that it would be the final time he speaks on him publicly. So there was a back and forth with the Migos and the Jay Prince family in regards to the passing of Takeoff. Now, this is the reason why Drake had said that he wasn't going to perform at the Apollo, and that's why he postponed it twice. The real question right now is, if you're going to postpone your concert on November and then postpone it again for December, and then you postpone it again to January, the real issue is, why are you postponing it twice? If Takeoff passed away, why do you have to mourn his passing for 2 whole months? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense, given the fact that you're not even in Houston, you're not even near where he had passed. You're actually in New York, and it clearly shows that you were in New York after Takeoff had passed. Takeoff passed away on November 1st, 2022. You postponed in November, postponed in December, and then you don't perform until January. If you need 2 months to grieve the passing of Takeoff, I guess that's okay. But what really concerns me is that you were still at the Mark Hotel under the name Richard Fitzenwell in November 9th. So you were there. You still showed up even after the fact of finding out Takeoff's passing. This is 8 days after the fact. So you were there for a whole week after Takeoff had passed. So at least we have a clear picture of what kind of happened in November with Drake and why he didn't perform in November at all. So then why did he postpone it again in December? Because he didn't perform at the Apollo in December at all. He ended up performing in January, where that whole situation with Christopher Alvarez happened. So why did you postpone it? Could it possibly be because you had to go to a New Year's Eve party? Was it potentially because you had to go to a New Year's Eve party on a yacht? A yacht that had multiple celebrities: Drake, Lil Baby, P. Diddy, Meek Mill, Quavo, French Montana, and Fabulous. You know what happened at this time also? That incident with Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, this is at the St. Barth's. Where they were at on the yacht, this is at the St. Barth. Look, January 2nd. Drake and Cuba Gooding Jr. there at the same time. Where? The Lil Rod situation happened. Yeah, as you can see here also, Drake was chilling at St. Barth's. Everybody was chilling at St. Barth's. Right there, yep, St. Barth's right there. Cuba Gooding Jr. We all know what he's facing in the Little Rod situation. Well, let's see what Cuba Jr. has to say in regards to this, right? Because as you can see, everybody was at St. Barth's that night. But Cuba Gooding Jr. has the most detailed story of events that happened around. In this video, Cuba Gooding Jr. describes the accusations he's facing and the Lil Rod lawsuit. I'm gonna play the clip right now.
Said, every outlet in the world wants to talk to you. And again, I'm not defining myself from some headline in the press. So I stayed quiet. And it's so funny. So I'll tell you a little story about who my girlfriend is. She gave Robert De Niro 3 grandkids. Her name is Claudine De Niro. She married his son, Raphael. They separated and we've been together.
I did a video about his girlfriend, a brief discussion about it. I still need to go in depth about everything about her. But we'll talk about it right now. We'll just get into
married his son, Raphael. They separated. He gave Robert De Niro 3 grandkids. Her name is Claudine De Niro. She married his son, Raphael. They separated. We've been together for a while. But she, at one point, ran Naomi Campbell's publicity. She, at one point, ran P. Diddy's publicity, right when he started doing the white party thing. Mm-hmm. He had just gotten freed from indictment, found not guilty. Did he? And he said to her, I'm going to die running with these niggas, man. I need you to help me with the white folks and the switch. And so she helped cultivate his new image. So they had a friendship for years.
Not only does Cuba Gooding Jr. implicate his girlfriend in relations to P. Diddy, but he also implicated her relationship with Drake. Here, he shares a video where Drake calls his same girlfriend that he's talking about, which has associations with P. Diddy. Right here, look. Calls her real estate agent.
All right, Drake, what did you call Claudine De Niro just now? What did you call her?
Said she was my real estate agent.
She's your real estate agent? This nigga
she was looking into some things.
Yeah. And what's she looking into right now?
We need more conversation. We need to hear more about what you got to say, bro. Please tell us more. But let's get back to the story at hand.
2019-20, just casually, Claudine and I, he invited us to his house. The pandemic was starting to ease, and hadn't seen him since that night where this guy with this picture that says that I had my shoulder on him and all this stuff, making it look sordid. Well, that picture, everyone in the room, there's probably 300 of us on the deck of P. Diddy's, I'm going to show you, on P. Diddy's boat, New Year's Eve. I went from one ship, Happy New Year. So I hung out with Tyson, and next ship, there's Drake. This ship had P. Diddy.
Drake was there?
New Year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. Look at that. January 2nd, New Year's Eve. and same bars, bro. New Year's Eve, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. New Year's Eve. This happened around the same time. He's saying that when this happened, that he was there, that Drake was there, following Diddy's boat around while all of this was going.
Recorded. Well, that picture, everyone in the room, there's probably 300 of us on the deck of P. Diddy's, I'm going to show you, on P. Diddy's boat, New Year's Eve. I went from one ship, Happy New Year. So I hung out with Tyson, and next ship, there's Drake. This ship had P. Diddy. He had
Drake was there.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. So Drake says that he's gonna mourn the passing of Takeoff, and then he postpones again in December, and then he finally does the concert in January, and then moving to January, that's when the Christopher Alvarez situation happens. He postponed the concert all the way until January the following year in 2023. And that's when the Alvarez situation started coming into play. It's the span of 3 months. It was November, December, and then January. Why did he need 2 months to do this concert again? He didn't mourn the passing of Takeoff for 1 month. Drake didn't mourn the passing of Takeoff for just 2 months. He probably did for like a week or so. And then when the next month came in December, he had a New Year's Eve party with everybody in attendance, with everybody that was there. Drake, Lil Baby, Diddy, Meek Mill, Quavo. Quavo was even there, which is really strange because if Quavo is there, but then you supposedly diss Drake later on in the year, I'm not too sure. Maybe those are the fan speculations, but I don't know what to make of it. I don't know why Quavo's there, but everybody's at St. Bart's. Everybody's there at St. Bart's. And again, like I said in my last video, Cuba Gooding Jr. had openly stated that Drake was following Diddy's boat around in his boat.
Thank you. They say love is a strong word, but if I'm going to describe our brotherhood, I need a stronger word, you know? Real talk. Please, 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 Tommaso, thank you so much for the other night, for putting all this on for us. Please find the people that you love and get close. Don't get far. We got to bring the new year in close together. I'm going to start counting down right now. You ready? 2023. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Yep. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, I guess. Ain't no party like a Drizzy and Diddy party. Drake, Cuba, and Lil Rod and Diddy and all this other stuff, bro. But yeah, that's how all the stories are connected. We were able to find all that out because of this one picture right here, bro. So for those of you who ask, well, why do you always look up the story? Why do you? Because nobody does, bro. Because with this one picture, bro, I was able to find everything. I knew about the Cuba Gooding thing beforehand. I didn't know it coincided with the Takeoff situation. I didn't know it was going to lead to a yacht party. I didn't know it was going to lead to a yacht party. I didn't know he postponed his Apollo concert for a yacht party. He said he postponed for Quavo's passing. But you were already there at the Mark Hotel. Takeoff passed away on the 1st of November, 2022. You're already at the mark on November 9th, bro. So what are you doing? Why'd you still go to New York? Why didn't you just go to Texas? Why didn't you just go to Atlanta or wherever Takeoff was rested at? Why didn't you just go there? Why did you still stay at the hotel? Why did you end up going to a yacht party the following month? I don't know, bro. But yeah, this is how those three stories connect together, bro. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace.